Ladies and gentlemen, that we are here to send our message of disappointment to the Ministry of Education and particularly the Kenya National Examination Council for one, being discriminatory in terms of awarding the pupils marks. Since time immemorial, we have heard about standardization of marks. We are aware, and this is something that is not only happening in our country, but is also happening in other countries that we know. And we as private schools associations, we have never complained about that. When the results were released and we were told that only 5 candidates out of the top 10, 15, all the top 15 candidates, only 5 of them came from our association or from private schools. We really felt like we are crushed. I'm not complaining and saying that we cannot have pupils who are performing better in public institutions. But let truth be told, we believe and strongly believe that the standardization formula that was used was discriminatory. When the CS Education Magoa was releasing the examination results, he was even very categorical to discriminate pupils by calling them pupils from private schools and pupils from public schools. And they themselves have been singing the narrative of no public school children and no private school children. How comes when it comes to releasing examination results, he goes ahead to discriminate them by calling them public schools performed better than private schools? Is that not discrimination? We should be able to stop double standards. And this process normally starts from the very beginning of registration of pupils during examination. And we call upon the Kenya National Examination Council to remove that section that requires that schools enter details as to whether they are public or private institutions, so that when the standardization formula is applied, it should be applied equally and non-discriminatory, and it should be acceptable like we have always done before. Our worst fears even comes when we are about to release, to be issued with the Form 1 selection. What would become of the Form 1 secondary school selection? Obviously, we are not about to see any justice and fairness. And we want to send a strong message to the ministry that let all children be treated equally, and we demand that we would want the NEC to provide us with raw data of pupils before standardization was done, so that we can be able to ascertain that indeed the marks that our pupils scored were genuinely given to them or were not genuinely given to them. We would want to be furnished with that information because the Kenya's constitution gives us that kind of mandate to have a right to information. We would want that the same way they post those results is the same way they should be able to furnish us, because this is going to affect our children. These pupils who have been disadvantaged, right now, the parents are having a rough time trying to offer counseling to these pupils, trying to let them know that it is okay, when they know very well that it is not okay. These pupils are going to be in the same schools with those who are coming from public institutions, knowing very well that perhaps justice was not done to them. Is this not going to create a state where we have got 2 categories of pupils in our institutions? It is